Now that the 4th is behind us, it's officially summer season here in the United States. How you doing, Anthony?
It's summer?
Yep.
All right.
Sure is. Well, let's find out.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the one and only No Vacancy Live. Of course, that's the incredible Anthony Melchuri out there. I am the okay, the whatever, Glenn Hausman over here, recovering from the weekend. How are you doing, Anthony?
Let me ask you a question. You're about to take off on a 2-week vacation to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
How can you concentrate?
I know, dude, I am so burnt out at this point. It is unbelievable. I want all of you out there to recognize that every single word I say that's coherent is an incredible feat of strength. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about it. So also, I want to say happy birthday, America. It was really fun being with family and friends. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
Just
Anthony?
out in the yard. As you can see, got a little tan, went to the beach a little bit.
Yep.
And we have family horse races, you know,
Right.
like you roll the dice and you move the little horsies.
Yeah.
So one of our family friends won, I think, $650 billion.
Wow.
Like you put $1 on a horse or whatever, you get this one coming.
Some long odds right there that paid off.
It was fun. It was fun. I think he won like $30.
I'll tell you what, if you want to talk making money, well, then, of course, you want to get yourself into a franchise with our good friends over at Radisson Hotels America. Remember, soon they're going to be part of that Choice Hotels family, which means your investment is going to be even further. You'll be able to tap into more loyalty program guests that are going to be coming to your hotel. Plus, be one of the blazing first to have brands such as Radisson Red, Radisson Blue, and some of the other great family of brands that are going to complement, I think, Choice Hotels' family of brands as well. What do you think, Anthony?
Yes, sir. I think it's a great, I actually just stayed at one of their products. Great product.
Oh, awesome. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's get going. I want to thank our guest today. We originally had another guest, and Anthony, I wanted to save it as a surprise because it's somebody that you're going to know. But unfortunately, that individual had a family emergency. And Courtney Lowe, who's the president over at the Woodstock Inn Resort, has been gracious enough to pop on here last minute to fill in. So, Anthony, he's only got about 30 minutes. But Courtney, thank you so much for being here with us today. It's so great to see you.
Well, thank you very much, Glenn. I'm really happy to be here. And Anthony, thank you. Looking forward to talking to you both.
Wow. So, wow. Yes. This brings back memories. We did that hotel, didn't we?
No. Did you? On Hotel Impossible? I can't. This is a luxury hotel.
No, but I think somehow I worked with that hotel or something. I don't know.
That's very possible. Well, Courtney, this hotel is pretty historic, right? One of the Rockefellers had something to do with building it, I believe.
Yes, that would be Lawrence Rockefeller. Yep. He passed away back in, I think it was 2004 or 5, but he actually had the Rock Resort brand since the 50s until about the late 80s, and then sold to CSX. So we were one of the Rock Resorts at one point in time. This particular hotel is the inn is 53 years old because he built this after knocking down the old inn, which was mostly in disrepair.
So what was the surprise for me, Glenn?
Oh, the guest who was supposed to be on today. Yeah, but when that guest comes back, we'll surprise you with it. It's just somebody that you might know from a famous series of television commercials from New York area and stuff like that from back in the day. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun for us. But Courtney, you're up there. You're in Vermont. New England travel, I think, has been going extremely well over the last few years. How are you feeling about the state of things up there where you're located in Vermont?
Yeah, it was great. I think Vermont lent itself very well during the whole COVID experience, and being a place that represents the great outdoors and an incredible brand when it comes to being able to be very active in that environment, and continues on as we move forward, being extremely popular. So we ran through it pretty well. We had our bumps along the way, but it got to the point where we said we're only taking so much because it was such a robust demand.
So 2022, is it turning out to be one of your best years?
Yeah, I say our fiscal year ended April 30 for us. So that was one of our best years ever. And this is still looking good because the emergence of not just the leisure, we're a 70% leisure travel hotel, but the 30% that was missing was the conference business. That
Right.
now is on revenge return. So, so we had revenge leisure last year, which
Right.
continues on now. Revenge conference and weddings have continued to be very.
I want to ask you a little bit more about the conferences and the weddings. How far are you through that pent up demand of people that wanted to, canceled, now finally are getting it off the ground compared to new people looking to book? Because I think that has a lot to say about where we're going to be going in the next year or so.
We had our record amount of weddings last year. We did 67, and we tend to do somewhere between 50 55. So that was a culmination of the rebookings and the new leads. So we had to push the new leads out to the next year, which we sold out what we wanted to sell because we thought we were going to do a little bit less. We have one wedding left this year that is a rebook through the COVID experience. So we got through them all.
We know Vermont's its own little country. So are you having the same employee issues as everyone else? Or
oh, man, you brought that right in. We were talking about getting to this question. How is staffing in that area lately?
Yeah, I mean, it's a national, maybe even a world issue for everyone. What I do see, though, and what we see is an increase this year of people returning to work, returning to our industry, which is good. It's a slow growth. We kind of knew this was going to happen. But we're supplementing very well. And, we're an industry where you can have in a lot of ways, you got very flex hours. I mean, we're a 3-shift industry. And so it's a great opportunity for a lot of people that need to supplement. I hate to say this, but inflation probably is getting people to go back to get some more work too. And so, but
hold on one second, Courtney. That's a real interesting observation. So what you're saying is some of the economic factors out there are forcing people to get additional employment above what they had in order to make ends meet. Because
there's
of the
no doubt
pressures.
It's either additional or it's time to get off the couch, so to say. And maybe 2 people now wanting to work versus 1 working from home. So we see a variety of reasons why people, or they went to a different industry and decided, well, that's not what I do. This is what I do. So let me go back.
Well, that's interesting. That's the first we've heard of that as well, because we've been talking about the great, either the brain drain or the physical bodies that are leaving to go to places such as Amazon or other places outside hospitality. But nobody said that people just don't like that environment and then want to come back in. So that's pretty cool, Anthony.
Well, what you're hearing from even people who make really good money, I've said last week, between inflation, gas prices, everything, people are, tuition, everything is going through the roof, and people are like, you know what, I was comfortable and now I'm a little less comfortable, so I gotta maybe go back and do something I don't really want to do. So it's I can see that. But are you finding the labor? Like, you have enough employees, or are you just doing more with less? Are you incorporating technology? Are you cleaning rooms every single day? Like, what things are you doing to face these challenges?
Sure. Anthony, it's a great question. Actually, to just finish up that last fiscal year, which was April 30, we actually decided last August to only go up to about 85% occupancy on any given day.
Interesting.
That didn't change us having a record year because every day was a Saturday last year. Because people were traveling while they're working. People were traveling more than they ever were. So that worked out really well. We had to limit housekeeping for sure. We did it upon request. And there was a time period a lot of people didn't want you in their rooms, and then then that's flowing more to like, no, we want you to clean the rooms. And so we're actually starting to balance our way toward back to full service. But it doesn't feel great when you're not able to do all the things you need to do. But we did have to limit some things. Another big thing for us was food and beverage, because the restaurant openings were a lot less. We had, even up in Vermont, you had restaurants that were only open 3 or 4 days a week. They used to be open 5, 6 days a week. So that put more pressure on us because we had to be open 7 days a week. and we have to feed our guests here. We're a resort. We need to take
Right.
care of them. So we were built to disperse people, but now we had to feed all our guests on certain days, especially on Mondays and Tuesdays. So we had to limit non-guests coming in very often. So that was a big difference.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting. So Danny is saying, hey, there's no shortage of visitors here on Cape Cod right now. Many weddings in the area. Staffing still an issue. Not as bad as last year. Sounds like it's pretty reflective of what you're seeing. And for folks from around the world that are watching that don't know the geography, both are in the New England section of the United States. So if you're looking at the map, northeast of New York State over there.
We
so
like to say northern New England.
Yes, northern New England. We're like New England wannabe here on Long Island.
And I imagine one of the reasons people are coming back is because wages, I would imagine, are increasing 20-30% as like everywhere else in the country.
Yeah, everybody's been pushed on wages, and I think we're an attractive business for wages. People, there's misnomers out there that have been, and it's we're pretty strong.
Well, I think industry-wide, what we're seeing is maybe people felt it accurate because there was a prevaricating truth that the owners wanted to spend as little as possible on labor. Now they seem to realize that's no longer tenable for people that are going to work in their hotels. So I think we just got to get out the messaging is not only is it a great career path for you, but you can earn decent living at the beginning as well.
Yeah, during all this, we reformed the Vermont Lodging Association, which didn't exist since 2004. And that was to really for us to have some lobbying with all the closure of business. But since then, we've also wanted to promote the fact that, hey, we're a great business to work for, industry to work for. We do pay well, and we're trying to promote that.
Right. Rick is asking another great question. You find people actually don't want so much housekeeping nowadays? I know you're saying people are coming back, but I'd like to add to that. Out of all the jobs that you're having trouble finding, is housekeeping the #1 trouble spot?
No, it's interesting. I mean, we have a pretty solid housekeeping team when it comes to our core. It's really just adding the supplemental, jobs on top of it to get to where you need to get. And that actually is one area that we've seen some definitely a return. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, he makes a good. Yeah, Anthony, go.
Rick, stop asking the questions I'm about to ask. Okay, Rick?
You got a question, or do you want me to ask your next question for you? All right. The next question you're going to ask is, Rick is also curious about wear and tear in the rooms from like maybe eating pizza in the bed, which is interesting because you think like maybe a room at the Walt Disney World Resort, because people are at parks all day, typically lasts a little bit longer. You have a lot of outdoor activities traditionally, probably the same sort of thing, but is it different now because of that?
Yeah, I would say our year was so strong last year. We had a harder time getting back into the rooms and doing all the things we need to do. So this spring and early summer, we've been able to catch up tremendously. And in fact, my property maintenance team is 110% employed. So employment. So we're in really good shape. And yeah, I mean, we some of the things, the supply chain piece of it is a big player in that, because we know we had some tables, we had some chairs we needed to replace, and trying to get those in a timely manner before your peak season has been really tough. So we're actually having to replace those things right smack in the middle of the peak season. So for us, all the things we ordered every day.
So it's kind of like hey, the Goldberg party just went down to the Billings Museum. Quick, let's swap out the table.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
somewhat like that.
Are there any expansions coming forward since you have all this occupancy? Are you guys thinking about expansions or?
No, we're always looking at. I shouldn't say no. We always look at a lot of different things, a lot of different models. Sometimes we think, should we be a little smaller as opposed to bigger? So you look at those efficiencies. But currently, I think we're in good shape with what we have. We're going to do make a little shift on some of our food and beverage offerings on the grab and go side, because that has become hugely popular, especially to go out and about and continue to do more on that end.
Right.
Right. That's pretty cool. All right. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how important it is to unify the community behind hospitality. I love that you're doing this, because one of the things that I find absolutely troubling is that so many hoteliers think of themselves as silos. They don't think of themselves as part of the bigger community that's out there, right? So share a little bit about how you're engaging with all of the different venues around you in order to create more cohesive profitability for everybody that's involved, for all the stakeholders.
Yeah, well, if you look up the industry of Woodstock, Vermont, we've always been a resort town. That's the way we're looked at. And the Woodstock Inn Resort sits smack in the middle of town. So you cannot not pay attention to the community, and we actually work in tandem together as best as we possibly can, making sure there's always discussion on the stores want to know, what our occupancy is going to be on the upcoming weekend, or if we have any weddings in town, or what are the store hours. A lot of that, the Chamber of Commerce works with us and tries to make that happen. So yeah, it's not about, I've always said, it's not the Woodstock Inn Resort promoting itself. It's about promoting Woodstock, Vermont, because the whole thing is one experience, and it's pretty amazing.
So how often are you asked, where's the site of the concert?
And then you have to say,
more often than not. It's pretty interesting that some people are not clued into what state we're in.
All right, I want Anthony to know that I was going to make that joke next, but you beat me to it.
Do they show up? Do people literally show up looking for the site, or just as they're walking around?
People have come here and said, hey, we wanted to check out where was the exact site. I don't know if they came here with the intention, but when they got here, they at least have been thinking about it. So, and unfortunately, we have to give them the bad news that they have to drive 2.5, 3 hours to go see the actual.
Well, according to this, it's a 4 hour and 40-minute drive, 231 miles to Yazgar Road.
Wow, that's longer than I thought. Well, drive with me, we'll get there quicker.
Yeah. No, but that's interesting. We went. I did a show up there, and I thought we were in Woodstock, and I thought that was the site of it, and we had to drive 45 minutes to Bethel. Is it Bethel?
Yeah,
to Bethel, New York.
So I understand your show is at the Vermont Inn that you were referring to.
No, there was another one I did.
Anthony, that sounds very familiar to me.
I did 2 shows in Vermont, and one was on a ski slope, and then there was the Vermont Inn, but there was another one too. I can't remember. Yeah.
So speaking of skiing, I think Courtney, I'm curious as to how people are thinking about outdoor activities now. You've got obviously 4 seasons of opportunities over there for you. I'd like to know, what are you thinking to 2022 versus 2019?
Yeah, I mean, skiing also, we had our best ski year last year, both Nordic and Alpine. So, yeah, I think it's still going to be strong. I did hear there were some states that were actually slightly down. Vermont was up, though, for skiing. And I think that will continue to be another strong year in skiing for sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
The Nordic growth, though, Nordic skiing, cross-country skiing, I mean, that was very interesting to us. What used to be more of very much a supplemental value activity for our guests has become very robust program. We see a lot of guests coming here to go Nordic, as well as the Alpine. Alpine was there, but Nordic has had this tremendous growth.
And do you think, this is the first generation that I remember that you see 60 and 70-year-olds that could, outperform 30-year-olds. They're working out. I was in the gym yesterday, and I mean, there was a woman next to me. She must have been, I'm 57. She must have been 10 years older than me. And she was on the treadmill. She could have ran 3 marathons. I was choking out a lung. And so I would imagine that the older generation is helping, especially outdoor kind of resorts.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's when you think about wellness, we talk a lot about whether we should have a wellness program. I say,
Right.
well, it already exists, with all the outdoor activities, and you can eat what you want to eat, but the outdoor stuff, the hiking and everything. It's the mountain biking that we have. We have this great activity center. We have the Orvis fly fishing program.
Right.
You can take full advantage of all you want or none, or you can read a book by the fireplace.
That's pretty cool. Now, our friend Joe Hessian, who owns the Mountain Creek Resort and the indoor ski slope at the Meadowlands thing, said skiing has taken off during this interesting time. You're reflecting that same opinion. I understand golf is having a resurgence as well, which is fascinating because those are two particular sports that really had a narrow subset of the American population, but now seem to be expanding to entirely new audiences. Are you seeing that too with both golf and skiing?
Yes, the outdoor piece would play that role in doing something outdoors. I think definitely helped a lot. You haven't seen growth in golf, at least I know in the Northeast, since Tiger Woods came out. And there's actually, I remember women coming into golf was one of the largest growths at that time. Then that kind of waned out a little bit. And so now we're seeing from families to women to just young kids programming. It's like it runs the gamut, and we had our best year ever that I can remember last year. So it's great to see.
Regardless of COVID, regardless of being in office, not being in the office, people are demanding flex time. People are demanding it for themselves. So, and they're figuring it out. I mean, I'm doing it myself, how I can, go play golf or go out or take a few days off and run away and still get my job done. I work harder now than I've ever worked in my life. My wife said the other day, she's like, when are you going to retire? It's like, I'm working harder than ever, but I have a lot more flex time. I feel like I have a lot more freedom than I've had in a long time. But, so I think that's true. So you're playing golf for 18 holes. That person that's playing is probably working, to 2:00 in the morning on his phone or her phone. Right.
Definitely. It's people can pick and choose their time of day to do things, which is really interesting.
Yeah. So what's going on with, I know we're going to talk about pickleball in a second, so I need to get to the bottom of that, but is tennis coming back? Do I need to go buy a pair of Jimmy Connors style 1970s tennis shorts immediately or no?
Is the future, my friend.
Yeah. Well, my wife's a huge tennis player, so, and she struggles with the pickleball thing, but pickleball's become hugely popular in Woodstock, Vermont, like it has at so many other places, from our public courts here to our courts at our athletic club here at the resort. So tennis is still strong here. I know in our world here, it's a pretty strong sport. I don't know the answer about the growth on that. But it certainly is. Picking up a racket of some sort is popular. And there's another sport that our pro wants our members and guests to try. It's called pop tennis. We haven't brought it in yet.
What is that?
And it's really you play in the singles court of a tennis court, but a little bit shorter. I think it has a deflated ball, but it's growing popularity.
So is Tom Brady a big fan of that sport?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to know that.
Well, I tell you, and again, as the population continues to be active, maybe at 65 you don't want to play tennis, but you can play pickleball.
Right.
And it's just another great activity. I can't wait to play. I've never played, but I think I would be all about pickleball.
It seems like pickleball is taking up popularity with older folks in particular.
Well, I think that's what did happen, the popularity of the older folks, but now it's running the gamut too.
Right. Yeah. So pickleball takes place on kind of like half a tennis court, right? So you can have two pickleball courts with one tennis court.
Correct.
Right. Sorry, Anthony, please continue.
I was just going to say, tennis to me is like golf. No matter how much I work on it, I'm not going to be good at it. Pickleball seems to be something I can get real good at.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons of the popularity for sure.
And I'm pretty good at pickling cucumbers. So, I mean, we got a lot.
We're good at that too.
Glenn jokes, but Glenn is an athlete. He's got Babe Ruth blood. He is
the smoking cigars and drinking part of Babe Ruth's blood.
that big Ruth, like you put him up a bat and he's going to hit 500 home runs.
That's too funny. But we are joking around. We're talking about food, but you're also really focused on a farm to table program as well. Something that feels very natural for a place like Vermont. Yes.
Absolutely. We've had for about 7 years now what we call our Kellyway Gardens, and we have a master gardener that he was a concierge of ours, young guy. He was going to leave and do something else, and we said, but we like you so much. What do you want to do? He already had written a plan to build us a garden. So we gave him 3 acres, said, have at it.
Awesome.
So he did. And then our executive chef came not too soon after, and he looked over and said, what are those 2 red barns over there? And he said, that's storage. He goes, what if we did a demonstration kitchen in there? We go, oh, great idea. Wow. Have at it. So now we have these dinners on Sunday nights. Last year we did Thursday and Sunday nights. 44 people can come in. They sell out. We do them through the summer and fall. You come there, you have a cocktail, you go out into the gardens, you walk all the gardens and see all the produce that all the chefs have a chance to throw things in there. And then you sit down at a 4-course dinner paired with wine, and it's a beautiful spot. It really is, and organic.
That's what you expect when you come to a place like that.
Well, I think it's absolutely. I think that's absolutely incredible. In fact, I am going to do my best to go visit it right now. Sorry, guys, hold on one second. I want to show a picture. I just want to show a picture of it, and I was all maxed out on photos I could have behind me. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, that's a real red barn. That's an old farm barn that converted into a kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just can't, I mean, can I just live under one of those tables?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Leftover wine and food.
Yeah.
So, Courtney, how do you, based on what you know from Chef, how do you put together a program like that? Just the top bullet points so people could understand, because you can't grow everything on site. So you need to have, I think, important partnerships with farmers and other purveyors within X amount of miles. Yes.
Yeah, some of that. I mean, fortunately for Vermont, I mean, you have organic growers all over, the meat, grass-fed meat being produced all around us, and cheese. Oh my God, cheese is unbelievable. It's like craft cheese, craft beer, craft bourbon. We've got it all. So we do partner with all of those. But you wouldn't believe the amount of produce that comes out of that garden. It's pretty amazing.
Really? Are you able to actually, during the months where you're harvesting, feed everybody through that? Or do you have to
we use, we like to say we pretty much use everything
That's
we
amazing.
have in there, and goes in, and the chefs like to see what's coming in. They need to know, they don't always get a lot of forecasts, but they get a couple days like, this is coming. There's a ton of kale coming in.
Right.
What can I do with that? So they've got to think that way, and they build their menus around, what can be on the plate with that dish as it's coming in. So very seasonal.
Wow. That's very creative.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's more now. It's the rule rather than, it seems like chefs, that's how they want to, they've kind of grown up that way. The last 10 years, the young chefs have grown up that way. They're like, okay, let's see what's available, even if it's not, grown on your property, but what's, local, even in New York. It's, you go down to that market, where is it? Down the Village. And, what's the chef from the Mark that we spoke to a couple months ago? He does it every. Which
yeah. Why am I blanking? One of the most famous chefs in the entire planet. And Anthony and I are both having a brain melt. This is why I need a vacation.
He goes down every day. And Jean George, he goes down. He goes down every day to the market or somebody, and he sees what's fresh from upstate, and that's what he cooks, and he make the menu that day. And if I would have got off this podcast without remembering Jean George, I would be thrown out of the industry.
Well, producer Suzanne, being that she's a doctor and all, she came up with the name. Just
I didn't see that though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying she would have had our back. So check this out, Anthony. They got a great dinner, for example, coming up on July 17th. And Courtney, we'll wrap in just a second because I know you have to go. But they're doing a night with Tablas Creek Winery and serving a spring mushroom soup, a spice roasted cauliflower with a poached farm egg, garden greens, and a garlic crostini. And the main course is a grilled petite filet and seared sea scallops with asparagus pearl barley risotto, and a brandied peppercorn sauce, basil butter sauce, roasted corn, and tomato relish with a pistachio tart and ginger ice cream for dessert.
They don't have tomatoes. They have tomatoes.
Hey, listen, I don't want to call the whole thing off, Anthony. So let's not get into a fight over here.
Why do
over
you have
that.
to say all that right around lunchtime?
Yeah.
It's your
I just
hotel.
want to know what's for dessert. There's all sounds delicious. What's for dessert?
So Courtney, as we wrap up here, it seems to me you feel overall your property is in a good place. People are coming, they're booking events again. You actually have some staff to make sure that people are having phenomenal experiences, and a great series of chefs that are bringing the dining culinary programs to new heights. What are you looking forward to most as we go forward in the hospitality industry?
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to even adding more value and adding more tweaks and listening and to our emerging generations that are going to be coming here more and more. And you have to pay attention to that. There's shifting needs, shifting wants, and I look forward. It makes it exciting for us. We keep having to come up with something new.
You know, it's exciting because I'd imagine you've run into where you want to bring something new in, and you're thinking about maybe putting something old kind of, out. And but you just said generations come and they're like, where's so-and-so? You got to be really careful.
Right.
We went to the same place for 20 years. And if they shifted anything, we're like, what's going on? Why'd you shift?
Right? You're exactly right, Anthony. A fine balance for sure.
All right. So then I got one more question to ask you, Courtney, because we're all men of a certain age, as they say now. How do you trust in yourself to trust what millennials and some of these emerging Zen people are saying as something you should listen to, as opposed to discount because perhaps we don't fully understand it because we're older?
Yeah, I surround myself by amazing talent and looking for people coming from different angles, and I got to listen to that. That's my job. I'm when you think of presidents and general managers, I mean, you're only as good as the people around you. So that I'm very fortunate to have that.
The trick, Glenn, is when you're running a place like that is you don't really make any decisions. Everybody makes a decision. You just go, okay. When you get really talented people, they usually come up with the ideas, and once in a while you'll have to be the last the judge. But typically, when you have, and I can tell just by talking to Courtney, when you have what a beautiful property that you have young, vibrant, or even old, vibrant people who are really thinking creatively every day. And if you look at pickleball, Glenn,
yes, sir.
There's some things that just make decisions for you. It's like, NFTs and crypto, everybody's still kind of, a lot of people like our age are on the sidelines. Pickleball just hit you in the head and say, all right, you're building pickleball. You have no choice.
Yeah. True.
All I know is very often the 60-year-old wants to wear the shoes that the 35-year-old's wearing. So got to think that way.
That is true.
I just want to wear New Balance because they're comfortable.
Yep. And I'll shout out to my friends at Vionic for making my feet not hurt nearly as much. Courtney, you have earned the right to plug your property. Tell us anything you'd like and how to book at the Woodstock Inn Resort.
Come, check us out, woodstockinn.com. And it's just an amazing place. You want to take full advantage of the great outdoors, eat incredible food, enjoy an amazing town that is probably one of the prettiest small towns in America. We're the place you need to go to. So check us out online. You can book online or call our wonderful reservations team. They'll take full care of you. One-stop shopping.
And thank you. And Courtney, thanks again for popping in last minute and joining us with 2 hours notification. So thank you, sir. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Anthony.
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Take care.
All right. Come on up.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Anthony, so interestingly enough, I mean, today's conversation really, I think, focused on relying on experiences that are real. And interestingly, a brand new survey came out from the AP that many Americans don't want to rely on digital services that became commonplace during the pandemic. They kind of want to go back to the way things are. In fact, close to half or more of U.S. adults are saying they're not likely to attend virtual activities, receive virtual host care, have groceries delivered, or any of that stuff now. You think that people are just saying that, or we are going back to that?
Let me ask you a question. You're on your phone a lot for work and whatever. I'm on my phone all the time for work.
Yeah.
I've had the impulse to throw my phone across the room.
That's right.
Not because I'm mad at anybody, just because
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of being tied to my phone. Literally, I had it the other day, and I was going through so many emails and getting back to so many people. I took my phone, and I just felt like throwing it against the wall so I don't have to deal with it. We are so sick of it. We're sick of it, period. So when you look at that, like the menu that you said, the wines, the barn, the nature,
Right.
we're cavemen, right? We come from, hunting and gathering. And so our natural instinct is to live like that. And now that we like to be comfortable, live like that, but have somebody else do the hunting and gathering, but make them
Right.
you're in this beautiful little, barn, but it feels like
Right.
you're hunting and gathering.
Yeah.
We're so sick and tired of pushing buttons. I'm telling you, I'm about to break my phone.
Right. Awesome. All right. So coming up this week, we've got, even though it's an abbreviated week, we've got 2 incredible interviews coming up. Now, tomorrow, Anthony, we've got Daniel Lesser with LWH Advisors. And if he's anything like Evan was when he was on from LWHA, I know we're going to have an incredible conversation about real estate investment in hospitality. And speaking of investment, on Thursday, what a coup do we have? We've got Noah Silverman, who's the Chief Development Officer with Marriott here in incredible North America. So that should be
what am I going to do without you for 2 weeks, my friend?
Find inner peace like never before is my guess. But don't worry, we are doing a live show next Monday.
Oh, we
with
are?
the incredible Devon Reeves. Yes, because it's the only day she can make it. She's got a major announcement that she's finally ready for. So we're going to do a show next Monday with her.
And you're going to be in Hawaii? You'll be in Hawaii?
I'm going to be leaving on the 12th. So the 11th, I'm still home. I was trying to make that packing day, chill out day, but happy to talk to her always. And then maybe we'll have a couple of pre-records in there that we're still trying to get done this week, Anthony, but we'll also have a couple of best stuff.
Are we doing anything from Hawaii?
I'm going to probably just pop on and stuff like that, but maybe we could do something together. Let's see if we can figure out a good day to make that happen.
Just let me know because, everybody in my life knows 12 to 1 is out. So maybe I'll just have lunch 12 to 1 by the pool.
You should. And we could do it at any time during the day, for example.
We should do 1 or 2 from Hawaii just to see what a Glenn, as long as I'm available, what is Glenn Houseman like on vacation?
Yeah. If you want to see anything, if you want to actually see me happy for a show, check out a Friday night audit we did in September of 2021 when I was in Canada in the mountains. People could attest I was the happiest I've ever been, I think, on air.
You know what the happiest I've ever been?
Yeah.
A second ago. And now a second later, I'm going to try to be happier again.
Well,
yesterday was fun. Yesterday was everybody in my family was in rare form yesterday.
Yeah.
Nobody went in the pool, which was crazy. I've never seen that before in 100-degree weather or 90-degree weather.
That's insane.
It was a lot of fun. It was we had a good time.
That's good. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. Yesterday we did nothing. We had people over here on Sunday, a couple of my close friends.
But my barbecue skills, I made, what I made, hamburgers, hot dogs, sausage, and some chicken. And it's just throwing it on the grill, like making sure I don't burn it and taking it off. And every time I do that, I'm like, how does Glenn do this almost 3-star chef barbecue? I just throw it on, cook it, and
I spent, how I did it? I spent Saturday prepping and Sunday cooking. Yeah, but it was worth it because those ribs fell right off the bone, baby.
Yeah, I don't cook ribs, but my Blackstone, I'm really enjoying it. So I may do some more prepping because I really enjoy my Blackstone.
Good. I love it. I love sitting out in the backyard and making great food and all of that. All right, let's get out of here. Tomorrow we got another great show, everybody. Remember, if you're watching us, why not listen to our audio podcast? Listen to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all of that kind of good stuff. And if you're listening to us, why not give us a shot? Watch us on our respective LinkedIn pages, Facebook pages, YouTube at novacancynews.com, and more.
That's so funny. I saw you reading it the other day, not reading it, but saying it the other day when I was with you. And you just say it off the top of your head. I always thought you read it.
Oh, yeah. And what I'll also do is sometimes if I can't necessarily remember it, I'll close my eyes and stare off into a different direction and the words will appear in my head so I can read it that way.
Hold on. Only you drinking a Mai Tai in Hawaii appears in my head.
All right. So
deserve it. Enjoy your vacation.
Maybe we should do like a special midnight show or something like that. You could do it at 6 p.m. I could do it at 6 p.m. You could do it at midnight. I know you're up anyway, and we can see just how drunk I am at happy hour.
Listen, as long as next week, I'm traveling the week after, but next week I'm home, working from home. So
Yeah.
just text me.
I will try. We're gonna try. We'll try to figure that out.
I would really like to talk to you in Hawaii.
I would really like to do that as well.
No agenda.
No agenda, because I can't handle an agenda.
So what's the one thing? Since we have a little bit of time, what's the one thing that you're looking forward to more than anything else?
I'm looking forward to not staring at this all the time.
Besides that,
besides anything work related, I think what I'm looking forward to most is just having some calm, quiet time without distractions to be with my kids before they go off to college next month. You know, this is our last time to really go away together for the four of us to be together in a real meaningful way. Plus, kudos to my wife. She got an impossible reservation at Mama's Fish House in Maui. So I'm excited about that too.
Wow. How'd she get that?
We're sitting in the bar and lounge, not the regular restaurant. Here's a little tip. You can only make restaurant reservations online, but if you call them and you're nice to them, they might let you sit in the bar and lounge.
Well, I bet you if Kalindra, my assistant, or if Sarah or one of our great concierge friends listening, they may be able to make a call for you and get you in the restaurant.
Oh, maybe they can. I should hit them up for that. All right. That's a really good idea, Anthony.
Yeah. So but is there one thing that, like, one destination, like one tour, one thing you're looking forward to?
Well, we're going to do a few things. My kids are really looking forward to seeing the volcanoes. So I set up a tour so I didn't feel like driving that day to see them during the day and at night. In Maui, we're going to have a car. So we're going to do the road to Hana. We're going to go to Molokini Crater and do some scuba diving, except I meant not scuba diving, snorkeling. I don't scuba dive. I don't want to, I wouldn't be able to think I actually do something like that.
It was like, go ahead, you don't scuba dive.
Yeah. And then we're also going to do, the boys and I are going to do the zip lining through the jungle and stuff.
In Maui? In
Maui, yeah.
Let me tell you something. I did the Maui zip line.
Yeah.
It is the highest, longest zip line in the world. Did you know that?
You shouldn't have told me that.
It takes you a while to get up there.
Yeah.
It's not when you get up there. We actually got not stuck on a zip line, but there was something in production. We did for production.
Yeah.
We needed a light or something. Anyway, we were up there having lunch for like hours.
Wow.
And then when you do the zip line, let me tell you something.
Yep.
It's not scary. And I'll tell you, for me, it wasn't scary because you're above the trees, and for some reason in my brain, it's like, all right, if I fall, I just fall into a tree, which wouldn't kill me. But it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then after we do that, we're getting into the car and we're headed up to Mount Haleakala. We're going to watch the sunset from 10,000 feet up and then look at the stars and stuff like that. So that should be a lot of fun.
You got it all grilled in there, all dialed in, my friend.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Should be great. First vacation in 3 years. Can't wait to have it happen. Anything else you want to add? Or
my daughter says to me the other day, Dad, we haven't been on vacation in like 4 years. I was like, well, there's something called COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't feel too bad.
Are we going away this summer? I said, no. She goes, why? So because you all got too many scheduling appointments, and I'm not challenging myself to try to figure it out. So if you need me, I'll be at my pool.
Right. God bless and good luck to them. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and
be kind to yourself.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Bye-bye.